Listen, I'm a black man and I'm well aware of the place that race plays in our society.
People want you to end up with a certain type of person.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do reviews on the news, politics, celeb stuff, TV shows, reactions, things like that. Today I'm doing a reaction to the new interview for Matt James on the Tamron Hall show that happened today. I currently review The Bachelor. I did The Bachelorette the last season, and I'm currently reviewing his at the moment. And there's been, I don't want to use the word backlash because that seems kind of grim, but just a lot of like talk in regards to like, is he going to pick a black woman? Is he going to pick a white woman? We also have to remember that Matt James is biracial. He's not only black, he is white, although visibly if I saw him I would just assume he's a black man. But regardless, your race doesn't define who you end up with, although I know that a lot of black people in the black community root for black love because that is pure and amazing. So I guess in a sense people are almost hoping and expecting that he picks someone black. But I don't know if everyone remembers that the Bachelorette from the last season was biracial as well. She was black and I believe Hispanic, and she didn't pick anyone black, but I don't think she received the backlash or like the judging that Matt James is receiving now. On the first episode, probably 15 minutes in, Matt James sat down with Chris Harrison and was saying like his concerns / expressions in regards to being the first Bachelor and the pressures that he felt from that.
People want you to end up with a certain type of person. I want to piss off black people. I don't want to piss off white people.
So yeah, as a result of that, you can see that he said that there was pressures for him to end up with a specific woman, maybe black because he appears black, but like that's just not really the defining characteristic that like decides whether he's attracted to a woman or not. And like saying he likes white woman, black woman, this time, because there's a very diverse cast. If you've seen it, there's a lot of different women on here, and I really love that because who knows what he could end up with. But today's interview, he sat down with Tamron Hall and she kind of just asked him his intake on everything.
Oh, I'm not going to lie and say there's no pressure because, listen, I'm a black man and I'm well aware of the place that race plays in our society. And I'm on The Bachelor to get to know a whole host of people, and I'm making time for everybody. And what I'm looking for isn't specific to a certain race. There's qualities that I found endearing in a whole host of people that I've been with in the past, whether that's black women, Middle Eastern women, Asian women, white women. And I just hope people are as open to that idea as I am.
Did you anticipate? I mean, you had to see that people would
question. See it coming.
Yeah.
Sorry. You see it coming. And all you can do, again, is to continue to lean in on those important qualities that you're continuing to look for and not shy away from anything and have conversations about it because I want people to understand where I'm coming from.
Well, I mean, to your point, you talked about being real and authentic. I'm a Virgo, so I love numbers and I like stats. Statistically, just looking at the women that are there in front of you, there are 32 women. Almost 2/3 are white. The odds would seem that you would pick someone who is not African American or of color. Statistically, there are just more white women in front of you. Did you ask for a balance? Did you ask for 50-50? I don't know the process on how they pick the women that you potentially could end up with.
Yeah, I'm not really aware of the process either. I know that production does its best job they can to get to know who you are prior to being on the show because I wasn't on The Bachelorette. They didn't know a lot about me and America doesn't know a lot about me. So I think that ABC did as best a job they could to make that cast diverse. And I think that the women that were there are quality. And you saw that last night or on Monday night with the one-on-one that I had with Michelle and the one-on-one I had with Serena and Bree and Sarah. Like there's a bunch of good women, which makes this difficult.
I bet it does. I would not want to be in your shoes or any season of this because it's tough. Your mother is white, your father is black. And they say we often find our spouse in our parent. Your mom is white. Listen, my husband is white, doesn't look like my father. And let's be clear with that. Not a bit of him looks like my daddy. But the reality is your mom is white. Does that add another layer of frustration when people start saying who you should be with, when at the end of the day, you were raised by your mom, who you love, who is white?
Again, what I'm looking for is qualities in a woman. It's not a certain type of race. It's not
right.
What I'm looking for is found across everyone that I've dated. And you see that in the women that showed up. And the fact that my mom's white and my dad's black, it's easy for me to understand and see color and not be thrown off when someone introduces me to someone who they're dating that doesn't look like them, or someone who's married to someone who doesn't look like them, because that's been my reality.
Yeah.
The only time that I would remember that it was weird that my mom was white was when she would take barbershop to get a haircut when I was little, because everyone's looking at her sideways when she's taking me in there. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, snap. This isn't natural to have a white mom in this like area of town. But I'm trying to normalize those behaviors. I'm trying to normalize it being okay to be with whoever you want to be with.
Yeah.
And I'm not what I'm interested in and what I'm looking for in those initial one-on-ones and the women that are there.
What was interesting about this interview is that she kind of addressed like, hey, like statistics wise, regardless if you think that you might end up with a black woman, white woman, the statistics aren't there really for the black woman. There's only so many that are there anyway. So realistically, you might not end up with one based off what's saying, because people are saying that based off his first interview on the TV show that he's going to end up with a white woman, that there's rumors that he ended up with a white woman. Not saying that that's bad. When people are kind of just talking about that and thinking like maybe he would end up with someone different. But other people who've kind of gone through his Instagram are saying also, look at what's on his Instagram. He's only really pictured with white women, where the black people, we're Hispanic, we're different races. So like people are picking apart this man's life, and I can only imagine, yikes, again, like we're also failing to remember that he's biracial, that you don't necessarily have to end up with someone that's the same race as you. That doesn't define love, but I do know that that is nice. Give the man a break. You didn't tear up Tasha the way this sticks. I watched the Tasha season and I was going through the hashtags and stuff, and people were not really going on her the same way they were going about him. But I don't know if it's because he's a man. I don't know if because like we don't really know about Tasha, and like Matt's Instagram page is very much there and shows you everything about maybe who he's dated. Although in previous interviews, Matt James said how frustrating it is for people that are saying that they're expecting him to end up with a white woman when he said that he's dated black women in the past. I know your Instagram doesn't dictate every little thing about your life, and there's things that are like missing and you archive things, but it doesn't show that. If you watch this, let me know what you think in the comments, and see you all in the next video. Bye.